Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy and welcome to the road to Gran Turismo 7. Tonight we are at Suzuka for round number 2 and we're in any Group 3 car you choose and you get to tune it this week. So again, open tuning, Group 3 cars, Suzuka. What could possibly go wrong? Stick around, find out. Alright, so here we are, road to Gran Turismo 7, the final of the GT Sports series. I'm sitting on 249 points. My highest point total ever today, our highest point in one round today. This is round 2. And so what we're doing is we're open tuning. So I'm going to give you a little tip on what I do. For the sheets, when I set a time with that tune, I write it at the top, copy and paste it into a new column, and then start fooling around with the other sheet so that if I screw up anything, I can always go back to the old sheet. So you see here all the sheets I have with different times. So I don't lose a good tune on accident. So that's what I do. Using AMS Dude's tune, and I raised the frequency there to have a little less grip on that front end. I also dropped the sway bar one to loosen up the back end, and not loosen up in terms of it's going to oversteer, but loosen up so it won't oversteer. And then I have a 3.1 camber. I thought he had a little too much camber in the rear of his, and also added just a hair downforce, just get a little more stick in those high speed corners. And so this drove well for me. I also added some sensitivity to the braking, so when I'm on brakes, that diff is opening up and allowing me to turn a little bit better. It does push a little bit more under acceleration, but not a lot. And then I adjusted the transmission to kind of suit my needs there, and that's kind of what I set it up. So, Dude's tune, very twitchy, very great for the aliens with a lot of car control. I don't have quite as much car control as those guys, so I got to kind of calm it down a little bit, and that's what I did. So, lobby opens up here, and we are in, looks like, second split. As you can see, we're getting down to the A drivers. Not as much participation in this last series as previous one. So, let's get on to qualifying. See how my tune did there. And I always get a kick out of this in qualifying. I'm just going to set a gap to me and P-Rath here and get, nice little start in the race without worrying about it. And, of course, there's always someone who seems to want to race during qualifying. I'm like, geez. What's going to happen is if you just stay with it, he's going to end up hitting you or something's going to happen. So I let him on through, and now I got to reset my gap again. So I always get a kick out of that. I'm like, why don't you just back off and just make a gap and, we can qualify. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, on to qualifying. Here we are heading into turn 1. Getting on the brakes lightly, easing off of it while slowly downshifting through the gears. That poor fellow went wide there. I think that was looping Jupiter. Anyway, entering the S's here at Suzuka. I always treat them like a slalom. You want to save a little bit of speed. You don't want to go in there too hot because you'll push wide coming out the backside of it. You'll lose all your speed going into the next slalom or S curve, so to speak. So you want to be very controlled in your inputs and your speed to get through there as fast as possible. You don't want to get behind those corners, so to speak. So here you want to get on about 50% braking as you head down through that first Lesmo. I think it's Lesmo. I always get it confused with Martin, so it might be first and second Lesmo. Went through there all right. Those are the two hardest corners on this track, I think, personally. Getting on the brakes there at the end of the curve and down into first gear. Want to get on that gas early. Kind of point it towards the fence on your right there. And get on the gas so that the rear end doesn't swing around. Because with the front rake like we've got on these cars, to be able to get the speed in the corners and the rotation that we want, when you come out the hairpin and get on the gas too early, it really wants to over-rotate. Into Spoon here. Do it pretty well. Had to go down into second. Would have preferred to been able to stay in third, but had to drop into second to rotate the car a little bit so I can get on the curb and get that nice early exit, so to speak. Early on the gas, it is. Now heading into 130R. This isn't even a corner. It is flat out. So we hold it to the floor. Head through 130R. Now we're looking for a break point here. About 130. Getting on the brakes, and then we're trying to cut as much of this chicane as we can. I didn't quite cut as much of the first one as I wanted to, but did take a nice healthy chunk off the second part of that Casio's triangle chicane there. So running 155, 379, not terrible, not my best, but it is good enough to qualify in P3, so I will take it. All right, so since there's no fanfare here at the beginning, I'm going to go over strategy while we go through the grid here. So you have to run all 3 compound tires, hard, medium, and soft. I'm electing to start on the medium tires, and I'm going to stretch it out to 8 laps. You probably should get off after 7, but I don't want to come out into traffic after I pit and lose a lot of time being behind someone slower than me. So Going to stay out 8 on the mediums, rolling the dice a little bit here. Come in 1 lap on hards, and come in again to finish out the race on the soft. So that's my strategy. Let's see how it works. Here we are on the starting grid. It is a grid start with false start check. I got my first gear down fairly low so I can get a good launch. I put the traction control on 1. I've got the handbrake set. Just waiting for all the lights to come up and then drop off, and gonna send it. Waiting patiently. Don't want a false start, that's for sure. And you don't want to drop traction control too soon. You'll lose the rear end of the car, and it'll cause all kinds of problems, especially with these cold medium tires. In front of us, we get off pretty good. No major issues at the front of the pack here. As you can see, a Porsche goes off in the back of the pack. Let's go back and look at what happened there. So it looks like Simply Amazing gets loose coming off the start, which gets Bahamas Racing off into the rear of LB3 Auto. Then LB3 Auto comes back, hits Porsche, and then the Porsche meets Barry R there. So they shake hands and have greetings. That is not a good start to his race. But here up front, pretty clean getaway as we head into the S's here at Suzuka. And I can tell right away that the guys in front of me are either A, really fast, or they're on the soft tires. I did not want a chance starting on the soft tires with the heavy car and be stuck behind the faster guys on mediums, because it's really hard to get by someone who's quicker than you, even if you're on a softer compound tire. So I went with the medium tires, and it looks like that Marshall behind me also started with the medium tires, as he is not just, pulling down on me. So looking like a good strategy to start the race. Get on the brakes here right there at the end of the curbing, and Marshall almost runs in the back of me. So we look in the rearview mirror, he gets loose coming out of the hairpin, causing a little bit of havoc, which is good for me because already I'm pulling out of the slipstream, and I am still slightly in the slipstream of P2, who, like I said, I believe is on soft tires, the way they went through those S's. So if I can stay in the slipstream of GT Fox for a little bit, this could bode well for me and my race, as I'm already sitting on the podium here at the beginning with a 1.4 second gap to P4. So I'm really liking that. Now as we head to 130R, they do pull away from me. He pulls out of my slipstream, does GT Fox there. And but I'm okay with that. I'm like, okay, he's on soft tires, no big deal. It's a long race, and Suzuka, I tell you what, all week during practice, folks they were getting bit by the turf monster left and right. Just getting knocked off track, spinning out, all kinds of craziness was happening. So there is also the chance that might happen. So fast forward here on to lap number 2. You can see I pulled a 2.2 second gap on R4M John Wayne behind me, who has passed Marshall. So I've got a new P4 position there, and everything's kind of settling into place here. I've got about a 2.5 second gap to the guys in front of me. So I'm like, okay, all I gotta do is race my race, stay on the track, don't do anything silly, and I can finish with another podium in round number 2 here at Suzuka, which would be awesome. Fast forward on to lap number 5. You can see old John Wayne, he is on his horse. And he is trying to run down old Geauxgreddy like I'm an outlaw or something. And I'm like, I'm not liking this at all. So here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping John Wayne is on soft tires and I'm on medium tires. Fast forward on to lap number 7. You can see John Wayne is now in my slipstream. So he has run me down, and I've got about a 7.4 second gap to Tesos Ant in front of me. So they have pulled away on those soft tires. You can see they jump in the pit. They do indeed have the soft tires, but I pass on by the pit. Like I said, I'm going to try that 8 strategy. John Wayne goes in. He's on the medium tires, so he's not on the soft. So he was able to run me down. Must have had a poor qualifying. Able to run me down from quite a few positions back. So I'm like, ew, well, I got to have a really good lap here. I'm hoping to get an overcut and hoping that he comes out on the hard tires. Maybe has a misstep here or there. We shall see. So we fast forward on to lap number 8. I come into the pits. Going to select the hards. Like I mentioned, now I'm only going to go out for 1 lap on these hard tires. Team Geauxgreddy throws them on, tightens her up, and sends her out the door. Coming down the straight, I look in my rearview mirror. I see John Wayne coming, and he's got me. The overcut did not work. John Wayne faster on the fresh set of hards than I was on the worn mediums. Now, it's not good. We're both on hard tires, and I'm like, okay, let's see if I can somehow get back into a slipstream, maybe force an error, or, just, find some good pace, something's got to happen, because I lost a position on my strategy, as it appears that John Wayne didn't have any trouble with traffic when he went in on lap 7. So fast forward here to lap number 9. We are heading through Cassio's Triangle. Get a nice exit there. I'm trying to get as close to John Wayne as I can. I'm within the slipstream as we head into the pits, and I'm sticking on the soft tires now. So we head out. Again, I'm right here on the back bumper of John Wayne on lap number 10, and we are in position 8 and position 9. JV Racer coming up kind of close from behind, but I don't think he's going to have the pace to keep up with us, as we are on sticky, fresh, soft tires. So not likely he's going to be able to be much of a threat from behind. And right now I'm just trying to get my head down and stay with John Wayne, as he has had really, really nice pace this entire race so far and has matched me almost step for step without any missteps. On to lap number 12. As you can see, it's still about a second gap between me and Mr. Wayne here. And he has caught up to Simply Amazing. They go side by side as they come out of turn 1 into the S's. Gives me an opportunity to catch up to him. They bump, almost a disaster for John Wayne, as him and Simply Amazing make contact there at the beginning of the S's. Now, I'm going to make a smart life choice here. I didn't send it on the outside, which would end up on the outside right here, where that sand is. I wanted no part of that. So I pulled out. I made the smart life choice and decided to wait for the inside on this corner here before the two Lesmos. Again, I know I'm getting that wrong. I bet it's not what it is. Anyway, come out all right. We both get past Simply Amazing without any trouble. So good job there by Simply Amazing, by John Wayne and myself. So now here we are on lap number 14, 1.2 second gap between me and John Wayne. We catch some traffic again. Everyone has different pit strategies. Some people, went with a 7.72 or an 8.71 or so this is what we're doing. We're catching now B1 Jammy. Pull out your jammy, aim it for the sky. Yell, stick him up, let two fly. That's right, B1 Jammy in front of me. And John Wayne with a nice move up the inside there, coming out of the S's to the uphill section. And now I'm going, okay, now how am I going to get past Jammy here and not lose too much time to John Wayne, because I'm still trying to track him down, still trying to force some kind of error. Still hoping something happens. I'm still hoping that turf monster reaches up and grabs his ankle. I go wide here so I can cut it down to the inside of Jammy. Jammy goes in a little late, a little wide. Not sure if he did that on purpose or not. But as you can see here, we are side by side heading towards Spoon, giving each other room. Very nice skilled driving here by the two of us as we head towards Spoon. Get on the brakes at the entry. Slips in behind me, does B1 Jammy. And we go through and into and through Spoon without an incident. So very good job there by Jammy and yours truly, if I don't say so myself. So I threw out the caution lights there for Jammy. So thank you, sir, for the clean racing. Some nice clean racing there from Simply Amazing, from B1 Jammy, from John Wayne. Just really, so far, absolutely enjoying the heck out of this race. It's intense. I'm doing all that I can to catch John Wayne. And John Wayne, I know, is doing all he can to keep me at bay. Again, the gap just right around a second between the two of us. Can't seem to pull on him. He can't seem to really pull away from me. But every time I get in the slipstream, like right now, heading towards turn 1, I get in that dirty air. And our pace is so similar that it's really causing me fits. And I can't pull in onto his car. Like right there, I missed my apex because the dirty air just wasn't giving me quite the turn-in I needed on the front end. And again, I'm in the slipstream here in the S's, but it's really just giving me fits. If the left, right, the turn-ins, how hard to hang on the corner there. I dropped it down a gear just to slow the car down without having to use the brakes and get some tire wear. Trying to save some tire for the last lap, but man, John Wayne, so good through this section where you go uphill there, man, just pulled away from me. So head on to lap number 16. And you see there Tayso's aunt and GT Fox headed into the pit. So where will they come out? Just in front there does Tayso aunt, right in front of John Wayne. So again, I'm hoping that maybe a little bit of carnage might happen. Not that I want anything bad to happen to John Wayne. He's all of our heroes, folks. But right now I've tried everything I can. I'm driving as clean and as quick as I can. I just cannot make anything happen so that I can, get on the rear bumper there of John Wayne. He is, once again, just doing everything that he needs to do to stay out in front of me. Now, as I see he goes wide there, gets off the side, but it's just nut lag tees. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was all excited. It was wrong of me to be excited for John Wayne's demise, but daggone it. I was thinking maybe I might get back on the podium right there, but instead, well, it looks like John Wayne is going to ride off into the sunset as I take this hairpin just way too deep. Save it, get back on it, but John Wayne's pulled a 1.2 second gap. He's also got the slipstream of Tayso Ant in front of him to help him out a little bit. So he was able to take advantage of that. Not able to run down old John Wayne there, so he takes the final podium spot, relegates me to P4, so I go to do a 360, and, well, I can't even do that. The car refuses to come around, and the AI takes over driving and, well, backs her out of it. So finished P4, but I tell you what, I had a heck of a race. I really enjoyed that. That was my fastest race time of the week through all the practices. Ran a 32:17 or so I was really pleased with that. Got 227 points and was happy with that. So I will put it in the bank and I will keep it there. So hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed all the action you did. Hit the like and or subscribe. Come back, check out some more. For myself, Geauxgreddy, y'all have a great evening. DJ Clean, take us out of here.